William Hawrelak was a mayor of Edmonton. He was elected 3 different times and has kind of a unique legacy because he never really served a full term as mayor. He was ousted twice, died in office, but a really interesting individual within Edmonton's history.
He was pretty much what we would call a good boy. He understood how people like to be talked to. He came from fairly humble roots, but also was able to mix with the Governor General.
He was, I guess, what we would call a strong man. He wanted to get things done, and he would push to get them done.
The first time he resigned in office was because there were allegations that he was profiting off of his position. So what he was doing was essentially orchestrating it so that he could sell properties below market value, and then these properties would just resell, and everybody involved was making a big profit.
There was a really specific rule that he broke, and that was that he owned too much of a landowning company. Ethics, I think, were seen as a big deal. For very many people, it was a big deal. Certainly for the courts, it was.
These scandals, they were national news. It was a case of people really responding to this and feeling like he was using his position to benefit himself. And so he resigns from office in September 1959, and he eventually is sued by the city and has to pay back $100,000, which then allows him to run for mayor again, which he does. He wins. I mean, $100,000 in 1959 is like $1 million today. It's not a small amount of money.
I think eventually he got to the point where, as a politician, he couldn't control or couldn't manifest the confidence of the people.
He did run in 1966 and he lost, and that was the only time he actually lost as mayor. And then when he ran again in about 1974, he was re-elected, but unfortunately he dies, I think, about 18 months after he's elected.
I think that retelling the story about people, good and bad, there isn't a hero, there isn't anyone who accomplished anything significant without, having some dark side or something that they didn't do that well.
A lot of the things that did come in under his time as mayor was very beneficial to the city. So you have things like Fort Edmonton Park, construction starting on that. Valley Zoo was in 1959. You also had the Stanley Milner Library.
There was Emily Murphy Park, Boyden Park was redone, Coronation Park, and the planetarium.
The thing with a mayor is that when things are built during their time as mayor, they often get a lot of the credit for it, even if they didn't have a lot to do with it. The one thing that he absolutely does get credit for is Mayfair Park. So 1954 or so, it's just this 320 acres of empty land, and it could have been developed, turned into a residential area or a golf course or anything. And he says, let's turn it into a park. Whether you like his legacy or not, I think in the long run he did a lot of good for Edmonton, and I think it's okay to honor him, even if he might have been a bit corrupt or might have had some shady dealings.
He definitely struck a chord with Edmontonians, even though he resigned twice in shame. The fact that he kept coming back, and he came back strong, means that there was something else there that people in Edmonton appreciated about him.
I think that his transgressions were real, but I think that what he left and his legacy and his story was bigger than that.